So right now, Russia, it's weaponizing Melania's past. I don't know if you know this, but on Russian TV, they frequently show Melania nude in order to mock Donald Trump. So they show all these photos of Melania. By the way, Melania's previously made posts about how proud she is of her nudes, but did you know that after Donald Trump and Melania met, she got what was called an Einstein visa? She was treated like a genius, an exceptional achievement visa that gave her a fast track to become a United States citizen.
And just like that, the woman whom Donald Trump once referred to as the most elegant first lady in the history of the United States of America is suddenly the subject of a media frenzy on Russian television, not once, but twice. Weaponized lingerie is the new primetime show that they have introduced. Moreover, here's the clincher. Once upon a time, Melania expressed her pride in those photographs. You may guess who is not proud at this moment. All of the information presented here comes from public sources and actual interviews. If you are prepared, fasten your seatbelts and get ready to watch the political circus that is about to take place.
Donald Trump went to a club in Manhattan called the Kit Kat Club, where there were parties that were frequently thrown for very rich Manhattan elites, businessmen, to mingle and find very young models from Eastern Europe. And Melania was a model from Eastern Europe who was brought to the United States, who would attend these parties where the rich men would show up and mingle with the models.
Not a cafe or a jazz lounge, but rather the Kit Kat Club was where Donald and Melania first met. It was a place where wealthy men from Manhattan, Eastern European women, and a lot of champagne were all present. It was a place where models met millionaires. Of course, Melania was one of the models that was used. They decided to click on a visa application, cash, and a charm.
Was a frequent passenger on Epstein's plane, known as the Lolita Express, and Epstein told author Michael Wolff, "The first time he slept with Melania was on my plane."
And that is how I met your mother, Baron. Any questions? Any? I'll tell you, next time you're on a flight with a crying baby, just think about how much worse it could be.
Jeffrey Epstein claims that Trump's first night with Melania took place on his private plane, the infamous Lolita Express, and that somewhere between the clouds and controversies, Little Baron was formed. However, the narrative does not finish at the club. According to Epstein, Trump's first night with Melania took place on private plane. The next time you find yourself on a flight next to a baby that is wailing, remember this. It is important to keep in mind that this could be the first chapter in someone's first family memoir.
Now Russia's out there posting those photos of Melania's nudes that she got an Einstein visa for. So you could... That's how Donald met Melania. That's how they got married at the Kit Kat Club. Right around all that time
Moreover,
period.
Russia is also posting naked pictures of Melania Trump as a form of retaliation. My name is Einstein, and I am the visa girl. Keep in mind, therefore, it is true that Putin's preferred propaganda tool is now the brilliant wife of President Trump of the United States. It has come to light that the Kremlin does not require deep fakes. In addition to holding a grudge, they have stored Maxim shoots. Moreover, Russia is also posting naked pictures of Melania Trump as a form of retaliation. My name is Einstein, and I am the visa girl. Keep in mind, therefore, it is true that Putin's preferred propaganda tool is now the brilliant wife of President Trump of the United States. It has come to light that the Kremlin does not require deep fakes. In addition to holding a grudge, they have stored Maxim shoots.
Linked by someone named Paolo Zampoli, who's become an ambassador under Donald Trump, a high-ranking government official. And the article goes on to say how Paolo secured Miss Trump's visa to the United States and introduced her to her future husband at a 1998 party he hosted at the Kit Kat Club. Mr. Zampoli's parties have featured an alligator, tiger cubs and models at nightclubs blowing kisses at fashion television
cameras. After that, Paolo Zampoli, a matchmaker and ambassador, came into the picture. He was the one who introduced Melania Trump to his resume. Models, nightclubs, tigers, gators, and eventually a government title. Melania was able to obtain her visa with the assistance of this individual who was essentially in charge of running Noah's Ark, but with champagne and immigration lawyers. Forget about love in general. Actually, this is only a visa. Believe me when I say that things are just going to get wilder from here on out. In the event that you are having a good time on this journey through political matchmaking and marriage marketing, you should not forget to like the following chapter, which is even cleaner.
Her family members, a policy that Donald Trump is blocking, and that Donald Trump would send people like that, I guess if their skin color was brown or black, to concentration camps in the Everglades called Alligator Alcatraz.
The advantages of having that visa came next. Melania brought her parents to the United States by utilizing her citizenship, which is completely within the law. However, here is the catch. Trump has spent years criticizing the same phenomenon, which he refers to as chain migration. Whenever the Melania family is there, the doors are thrown open wide. With that being said, if your surname does not have a European sound to it, Trump acts as if the only place for you is some sort of detention camp in the swamp. Therefore, it is true that her parents were given the warm greeting, while other people were given.
Melania got her family citizenship. Melania Trump used a legal pathway that her husband and his top advisors has repeatedly disparaged as chain migration, the right of U.S. citizens to bring their parents to the United States. Federal law since 1965 has said U.S. citizens may apply to bring minor children and parents to join them in the United States without having to wait a long time for a visa. Citizens may sponsor siblings and adult children, but they typically wait longer for visas. Okay, so Melania gets the expedited path based on an Einstein visa after meeting Donald Trump at the Kit Kat Club. Then she brings in her family, and now Donald Trump's against all of those same policies.
Regulations. Let us go through this process once more. A visa for Einstein is granted to Melania since it is believed that she possesses an outstanding aptitude to pose naked. After that, she expedited the process of bringing her parents into the United States. And now Trump, the same individual who profited from that procedure, wants to make it illegal for everyone else. More than just hypocrisy, that is. This is a full-fledged policy that goes by the phrase, "Do as I say, not as my wife does."
Now Melania pretty much just grifts. You know, she has her meme grift, which the meme coin crashed. She sells her book, Why Do I Stand Proudly Behind My Nude Modeling Work. Melania was with her personal stylist, Pierre Brallard, who's paid about $18,000 a month. Her stylist gets paid $18,000 a month from Trump's
Pack up. Melania is now doing a full-time job as a grifter now that she has finished her tenure as First Lady. It was revealed that she had published a book with the title, Why I Stand Proudly Behind My Nude Modeling Work. Subtle. Her stylist receives a monthly salary of $16,000. That's not fashion at $18,000, is it? That is a line item in the government budget. It would appear that she is willing to sell more than just her self-respect. Currently, her brand incorporates both nostalgia and FTS. $155,000 has been paid to her.
Doing speaking engagements for Donald Trump. You know, she shows up at a location, she sits at a location, she gets paid $155,000 for doing that. You know, and you know, I guess one of the questions as well, she sells the Meta Rose, this photo, it's a digital photo that she sells for $150. I mean, I guess when Donald Trump calls his supporters stupid, I guess anybody buying a $150 digital image of a Meta Rose, I don't even know what that means
moreover, Melania's comedic abilities have not yet been exhausted. It is worth $155,000 for Melania to simply turn up and remain seated. This is not a speaking engagement. Renting furniture of that kind is a luxury. Another one of her offerings is the Meta Rose. a digital flower that she offers for a price of $150 a unit. Ignore the art. Here we have a performance. It is ironic. Melania Trump capitalizes on the insult Donald Trump has made to his supporters by calling them stupid. You couldn't make this stuff up, but you can buy it for $150. Here's the American dream. If you're Melania, it comes with private jets, NFT side hustles, and a payment of $155,000 just due to the fact that you showed up. While all is going on, Trump can be heard raging against the very system that made all of this possible. Brace yourselves, however, if you believe that to be the pinnacle of hypocrisy. What's really going to happen is just getting started. What do you think is more likely, the silent collapse of a First Lady fairy tale, or the planned genius of a person? Feel free to share your ideas in the comment section, particularly if you have ever been compensated six figures to remain silent. Believe me when I say that you are going to want to be here for what is about to happen next. After that,
She was also one of the biggest spreaders of the birther conspiracies against former President Obama. She was used by Donald Trump frequently to go and attack Obama.
Melania had another employment before she went on book tours and FTS. She was the chief booster of the Obama birther hoax. Trump gave her the microphone, and it turned out that she did more than just regurgitate his message. She amplified it. Being the First Lady does not imply avoiding political involvement. It is sometimes necessary to act as the messenger for your husband's most offensive and racist remarks. However,
What is this with the birth certificate obsession? Did he ask to see yours when you met him?
I needed to put mine anyway, because if you want to become an American citizen, you need to put the birth certificate.
Right.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. And do you want to see President Obama birth certificate or not?
I've seen it.
It's not a birth certificate.
Well, it's a certificate of live birth,
Right,
which they
but-
get. But Melania, if he insists on what he's saying, then no one in Hawaii can ever run for president, because they all get the same live birth certificate.
Well, but they need
Bette
to have...
Midler is finished, for example.
They need to have, and in one way, it will be very easy if President Obama just show it. And because
But he
it's not only Donald who wants to see it, it's American people who voted for him and who didn't vote for him. They want to see that.
But it's on display in Chicago.
Melania, your defense of the Obama birther hoax sounds like someone who is attempting to explain a tax form. Not just Donald is involved. It was said by her. It's the people of the United States, right? Since there is no evidence of patriotism, this is like to insisting on seeing a birth certificate from a black president who was born in Hawaii while proudly flashing your Slovenian birth certificate.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
For what you want in life.
That your word is
That
your
your word
bond.
is your bond. That you do what you say you're going to
and
do.
Keep your promise.
That you treat people
That you treat people with respect.
with dignity and respect. And because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
And of course, Melania would plagiarize Michelle Obama's speech at the Democratic National Convention. Literally, Melania's speech during Trump's first Republican National Convention was literally copy and pasted of Michelle Obama's speech.
Melania went on to her next hobby, which consisted of reheating other people's speeches and serving them as if they were just taken out of the oven. She did this because she had become bored of criticizing President Obama. Copy and paste, as Ben phrased it so eloquently. No, this is not a coincidence, and it is not a tribute. It is just a copy from Michelle to Melania. Also, have we received an apology? Obviously, that is not the case within the realm of Trump. Accountability is nothing more than another headline for fake news. If you thought that was a strong statement, believe me when I say that we are just getting warmed up. Please grab some popcorn. Whatever you do, make sure you don't blink and don't miss what's going to happen next. Donald Trump
Was caught on video bragging about sexually assaulting women and grabbing women by their genitals. And he says, because if you're rich, they let you do it. She said that's locker room talk and that she was okay with it. Here, play this clip.
He described it as locker room talk. To you, I mean, you sort of alluded to that as well. Is that what it is to you, just locker room talk?
Yeah, it's kind of two teenage boys actually they should behave better, right?
He was 59.
Correct. And sometimes I said, I have 2 boys at home. I have my young son and I have my husband. So, but I know how some men talk, and that's how I saw it, yes.
And then if that is the case, then let's put the copy-paste scandal involving the wife for a while. The time has come for the first couple to appear. Melania describes Trump's boasting about groping women as locker room talk, while Trump continues to brag about it.
His age was
59, not 15. The remark she gave was, I have 2 boys at home, my son and my husband, respectively. If you have a grown guy for a husband who acts like a teenager, you might want to reconsider giving him the nuclear codes.
Melania saw Stormy Daniels in Vogue. Here, play this clip. Around the time when you released the best-selling book, Melania and Me, there was that audio recording where Melania was livid that Stormy was going to be on the cover of Vogue or in Vogue, and she was calling her like a porn star hooker, and she was saying that to you. They're putting the porn star in the front, and this is so embarrassing. So she's always been humiliated by the Stormy ordeal.
There is no logic in Melania. In addition to that, she continued to defend her dignity. The behavior of the First Lady became even more perplexing as a result of the troublesome Daniels affair. Even though Stormy Daniels is featured on the cover of Vogue, Melania does not show any reluctance regarding the affair. Simply put, she is upset over the layout of the magazine. She did not speak harsh and angry comments about Stormy Daniels because she was morally outraged. Rather, she did so because Vogue selected Stormy over her.
You think that added to the torment of Melania just knowing her?
I don't think Melania understands torment, as crass as that sounds and as sad as that sounds. I'll never forget, and I shared the audio with you. Melania did. She called me and she goes, Anna Wintour, editor-in-chief of Vogue magazine, put the porn hooker in Vogue. Now, I was like, what? She said she shot the porn hooker. And I didn't know what she was talking about. And you hear my reaction. And in that reaction, Melania's only concern was that Vogue was actually profiling Stephanie Clifford, Stormy Daniels. Not anything about the fact that the conversation in everyone's households was that Donald was having an affair with Stormy Daniels at the time.
In spite of the conspiracies, scandals, and severe weather, Melania Trump remained steadfast in her support of Donald Trump. She plagiarized when it was necessary, maintained her silence when it mattered, and smiled when the cameras were rolling. But there was a lady who was making moves of her own behind the perfect posture and polished accent. And that's when the grift became more personal. It is possible for her to compartmentalize.
Married, and he knows who he married. She knows what she got into, and she knows what she gets from this marriage. And that's more important than anything.
In comparison to everything else, it was not a quick decision for Melania to support Trump. Not only did it come with a smile, but it also presumably included a prenuptial agreement. She is not completely oblivious. Melania is aware of the person she has married and the benefits that she will receive from the union. Only cold calculation dressed in a fashionable garment is present. There is no inner fight, no anguish, and nothing else. Rather than love, it's a matter of timing. You see.
Babies. She's the nation's stepmom, there for America every other weekend and on holidays. So when she saw the bullying epidemic that was tormenting the country, she stepped forward with a grammatically courageous initiative.
Today, I'm very excited to announce Be Best, an awareness campaign dedicated to the most valuable and fragile among us.
During the time that she was portraying the role of a polished First Lady, Melania launched the Be Best campaign, which is a national anti-bullying project directed at the most prominent bully on the internet. America did not have a First Lady at the time. We are dealing with a stepmother who only shows up on holidays and speaks in platitudes such as, be the best, honey, and begin with your husband first. Was Melania trying to send a silent search and rescue signal from within the golden cage? Or was she just teasing us? Because this narrative is not yet over. Feel free to leave your guess in the comment section. Given the
Since day one, they've been inseparable. If you don't count the 6 months she stayed in New York while she reportedly renegotiated her prenup. But after that, it was a love story for the ages. Those ages being a hot 50 and, I don't know, 97? During their time in the White House, Melania and Donald were often seen taking long, romantic walks, holding hands, trying to hold hands, and refusing to hold hands. Yes, you could always see the look of fiery passion whenever Melania was at her husband's side. And it's easy to see why.
Melania Trump and Donald Trump were the first pair to awkwardly hold hands as a relationship. If you overlook the 6-month prenuptial agreement renegotiation, they were once inseparable. Now, she is absent from the campaign for the year 2024, just like vegetables that are gone from a Trump dinner plate. It appears that there is a time limit on standing by your man, and it smells more like self-branding than anything else.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah,
how do you know? You don't know all this.
Allegedly.
That's why I say allegedly.
This. If there was anyone who is still curious about how she is feeling, The View was the finest way to express it. She despises him to the core. Melania does not want to share the presidential residence, the Christmas tree, or even the same bedroom with her husband. A chilly marriage is not the same thing as a silent divorce. The only difference is that there is no paperwork involved.
Now you know who has been bragging all over the campaign trail about how he's the one that overturned Roe v. Wade, but apparently his wife has different thoughts on the reproductive rights after posting this video plugging her memoir. Take a look.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
While Donald Trump boasts about overturning the Roe Wade decision, Melania Trump is out here blogging about the rights of women and the freedom of individuals. A few of them are peddling memoirs about choice, while others are trying to outlaw abortion. Melania Trump is rebranding herself in heels, so much for the image of a calm and graceful First Lady. Behind every perfectly arched eyebrow was a calculation, every coat was a headline, and every smile was a plan. It's almost as if even Melania is bored of the Trump brand. And now, as Melania dissipates from Trump's campaign like a logo that has been peeled off of a bankrupt building, what is left is telling when even the person sleeping down the hall no longer buys the brand. Perhaps the brand has been damaged. At this point, however, before we pull back the curtain, let's take one final look at the performance and speculate about who might have been directing it all along. Also keep in mind that no First Ladies were hurt in the process of creating this remark, although a few egos may have been somewhat bruised. All of the facts that are presented are excruciatingly public, and any resemblance to genuine disorder is completely intended.
What was your favorite memory as First Lady? It was in 2020 when Donald get the China virus and he was airlifted to hospital like sick elephant. Darren and I threw party on back lawn. We danced around giant bonfire and shot fire cookers at Mike Pence. I had the Lincoln bedroom all to myself and did not sleep wink. Too many smiling. Sadly, the elephant make it.
Yeah, it's humpy time.
Oh, elephant find me.
You know what? Maybe this is why Donald and Melania sleep in separate bedrooms. She was laughing too hard at my monologue at night.
It was not a speech, not a cause, and not even a Christmas tree that Melania's greatest memory of her time as First Lady was. It was at that time when Trump became ill with COVID and was transported out of the country like a sick elephant, and she hosted a party in the Lincoln bedroom with a bonfire. Get rid of your elegance and grace. This is the story of the First Lady seeing the survivor and looking at the smile on her face. It is clear that she did not want him to be awarded immunity. In addition, it is possible that this is the reason why Melania Trump and Donald Trump sleep in separate rooms. It is not because of politics or scandal as you may think. In conclusion, Melania Trump was never merely a footnote in the history of the family. From modeling portfolios to meme coins, from birther theories to being the best slogans, every step was a part of the performance. She was the controlled silence that was hiding behind the pandemonium that was the polished surface over a foundation that was falling apart. Having said that, the curtain is about to fall and the cameras are switching off. One thing is abundantly clear. The empire is not simply showing signs of weakness when even your wife stops purchasing the brand. It is falling apart from the inside out. The video in question addresses a part that was broadcast on Russian television stations during which content about Melania Trump's past was shown. This segment has received extensive coverage in the media. Each and every piece of content is derived from authentic footage and reliable sources with the goal of authentically reflecting the facts and the reactions of the people. We do not engage in any exaggeration or speculation for the purposes of political commentary, media analysis, and public interest. This video is in full compliance with the community rules and fair use policy that YouTube has in place. If you found this video to be thought-provoking or informative, please feel free to subscribe for more videos like this one. We appreciate you watching. It is you